Hi, Dr. John here with a few more minutes on personal coaching. I got some great comments and questions from my last post, and I'd like to thank you. I so appreciate that. In particular, there were two questions that came up over and over again, so I thought I'd address them today. The first was, is coaching really worth it? And the second was, how do I find one? Well, to answer the first question is really pretty simple. If there's an issue or an area in your life that you'd like to improve, and you've been trying to do it on your own and not succeeding, it could be, say, something with your career or business activities. Maybe you'd like to do better in relationships, or you'd like to have more self-confidence or self-esteem. Maybe there's a fear or phobia or some other emotional pattern that's holding you back, keeping you from living the life that you want to live. If that's your situation and you've tried and not succeeded in making the changes you want to make, and by the way, that's the case for most of us, I'll remind you that human beings, that's you and me, are hardwired to resist change. So if you've tried and not succeeded, then a good coach or therapist might be just what you need to get you over the hump and on to the next level and beyond. So, is it worth it? Well, is your life worth it? You bet it is. Now, how do you find one? That's a little bit more complex, but I'd like to share some criteria, sort of like a checklist of things to look for when searching for a good coach or therapist. First and foremost, find someone that works in the area you'd like to improve. I suppose that sounds completely obvious, but it's important. For instance, if your issues are more career or business oriented, then you might lean toward a business coach. If they're more personally oriented, then you might want to find a life coach or a therapist that works in those areas. The second thing to look for, of course, is experience and training. There are a lot of folks out there that aren't very well trained and aren't very experienced. Now, they probably can't hurt you, but they might not be able to help you. So ask about training, ask about experience. How long have you been in practice? How many clients a year do you work with? And how many clients a year do you work with that have my issue? It's really, really important. Along those lines is that you want to find someone that's going to be flexible enough and compassionate enough and talented enough to build a program for you that meets your sensibilities and your temperament and your desires and personality. If you talk to someone and they say, listen, this is how I do it and this is how you're going to do it because this is how it's done, well, you probably won't get such great results. Along those lines is to ask for client references. Anybody worth their salt will be more than happy to let you talk to people they've worked with along the same lines, hopefully, around the same issues that you'd like to work on, and ask them anything they want. If you call a coach or therapist and ask for client references and they say they won't give them to you, I have one word of advice, actually two. Don't go. The final thing in the checklist, if everything else aligns, is to think about fees. This is the most difficult thing to advise you on because fees vary widely and there are so many factors affecting them. So the best advice I could give you is this. As a rule, you tend to get what you pay for. If you find someone that fits all your criteria, they work in the area you want to work on, they're flexible and talented enough to build a program for you, you've talked to clients, you know they're well trained and their clients are happy, and they charge a little bit more money, it's probably worth it if you can afford it. Because guess what? You'll get better results and you'll get them more quickly. And with my clients, as any of them will tell you, it's all about getting results as quickly as possible. Life's too short. That's all for now. If you have any more questions or you have comments, please contact me. I try to address them all personally as I can. And until next time, I'll ask you to remember one thing. Rule number one, life is supposed to be fun. Make it so.